Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I placed my bet on this town by the sea. Some think it's paradise, but it's just UCSD. Trying to survive the quarter system is misery. Second weekend they already trying to test me. Eat plenty they said, but on Monday there's no me. About to spit some truth on this right here, B. The food might look good, but it tastes hella shitty. I'm telling you, man, it's the worst in the city. Sacrificing my health just to stay in school. Educating myself, no need to call me no fool. Deprive we of our own history. Fuck thee, I'ma learn about me. Staying up all night, so my essays are tight. Writing about Nicaragua, Mexico, El Salvador. Reclaiming la cultura, tradición y sudor. Soy la mestiza, irata sonrisa, mi vestido de Jalisco volando en la brisa. Chela, cause you took my indígena, my brown skin from me. With your hijack, well, I'ma take it right back. Study some made with their own minds and hands. Right here on the Kumeyaay land, conjunto Nepantla. This is the life of a college student hustler. Got minus money in my bank account. Soup with chopsticks every day on my way to the hospital. About to get my blood count. Some may grumbling, and I'm tumbling. Heavy ass books in my backpack, and I'm stumbling. Got a stank face as my mother. Spending hella time in the biblioteca. Man, my wrist is Shreka. But you don't see me complaining, try to knock me down. And I stand tall with pride, baby. You looking at it all, I ain't got nothing to hide. In February 2010, the University of California, San Diego experienced a series of events that would forever shape how we view racial tensions in our public universities. Referred to by Chancellor Fox as a dark day in the history of this university, the Compton Cookout is a subject that is now treaded lightly upon by UCSD staff and administration, and even forgotten by a large number of incoming students. But regardless of how it is addressed, the Compton Cookout and the protests that followed have surely shaped UC San Diego into what it is today. Hello, my name is Mireya, and we are in the studio today with Stephanie Calix and Ashley Drake. How are you two doing today?
Good, thank you.
I'm good. Good? Okay, let's get started. So you two are both undergraduates at our school, right? So could you explain to us, through your eyes, what the Compton Cookout was and what was your personal experience with the event?
Okay. So the Compton Cookout started as a party. It was thrown by 4 individuals from different Greek organizations, but they were not, the party wasn't affiliated with the Greek organizations. It was thrown off campus at Regents, which is like a condominium right off of Regents Road. And the party was basically in honor of Compton Cookout, in honor of Black History Month, and it was titled Compton Cookout. And the most offensive part of it was a Facebook event, and the invitation of the Facebook event basically outlined the way in which people were supposed to come to the party. And for men, it was like dress in baggy clothes and FUBU and like basketball players and wear gold chains and be ghetto. And for women, it was like be uneducated and
like wear these certain type of earrings and wear weave
and talk like this and bring watermelon and eat fried chicken
and drink grape drink.
And so people actually showed up to this event in blackface, which is historically known for being a very big racial thing that took place in our country. And so individuals showed up to the event in blackface and took pictures, posted them on Facebook. And the BSU got a hold of the event flyer, and that was the initial thing, and protested on Library Walk, because when you initially read it, like,
it's really racist.
It's really racist. Yeah. It's blatantly racist.
It's directed towards Black people.
Black people, Black women especially.
Sexist, definitely.
Yeah,
sexist. And so that was the first event. After that event took place, the Black Student Union responded with protests on Library Walk. And the university basically took the easy way out of it and was like, it was an off-campus party with no affiliation to our school. We can't do anything about it. And so as the Black Student Union, like, that wasn't an acceptable response. So every day we protest, literally for the entire month of February, which is really sad because February is supposed to be the month to honor Black people in our country. So for the entire month of February, out on Library Walk protesting, and it was just really amazing to see, like, the bigger it got every single day because more and more people started to come and show up. The next thing that happened was on UCSD TV, the editor of the Koala went on there, and he was speaking about the event, basically saying that all the Black people were just making it more than it was. And then he made a statement that all you N-words need to get the F out of our school and the F out of our country. And so then that sparked even more tension. And basically after that event, everyone on campus who felt some way about Black people, or even just wanted to play the devil's advocate, really took that time upon themselves to just go crazy. Like, they thought they could say anything and do whatever they want because the school wasn't giving any consequences for anything. So for that event as well, all they did was shut down Triton TV and was like, oh, we can't do anything to him, freedom of speech. And then the Koala, which is a newspaper on our campus, it's a satirical newspaper, they went and printed about the Compton Cookout and wrote really absurd things as well. And they were like, we can't do anything, freedom of speech, the university. And then after that, there was just a series of events. The UCSD BSU came out with the first set of demands, and the school denied them. And then there was more protest. Then there was a noose found in the library. And then there was KKK hoods found on the Dr. Seuss statue outside the library. And then that's when finally BSU came with another set of demands. And the school's response was to have a teach-in. So basically they had a bunch of professors and they set up the ballroom, and basically we're going to teach people in a 2-hour session about racism, which to students who are experiencing racism, that's basically a slap in the face, because you're the individuals who have the power and are in the positions to make change on this campus and to make this a safe space for me. And you're going to say, we're going to teach 200 individuals in one room about racism. Like, it's not even possible, like, in words. Like, it doesn't happen. And so then BSU had their own teach out, and they took everyone outside to Triton Steps, and they did their own teach out, basically about how we as communities felt about everything going on. And then it was on March 4th, 2010, so basically about a month later, that the university finally accepted the demands.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That's fine. So, what do you feel about the university's response to the Compton Cookout and the demands of BSU and Mecha?
Well, being here at that time, it wasn't like demands were put forward, the university said yes. It took over a month in order for, with, like you said, a bunch of protests that took place in order for the university to actually finally agree to the demands. Like, there was thousands of people on this campus from the greater community, from other college campuses, just here protesting with the Black Student Union and Black students of this campus, just because of how outrageous and racist the events that were taking place here had gotten. And so it took a while for the university to finally agree to the demands. And then when they finally agreed to the demands, it also took a while for them to finally implement the demands. It wasn't until this year, actually at this very moment, that the final demand is being met.
I think, like, within the last 2 years that it's been easier. Like, the university has been really a lot more helpful in getting our demands met. Like, I know when we proposed to have our Black Resource Center, they were really, like, open to showing us spaces and, like, picking out our furniture. Like, we were really involved in choosing our director. And with the Black mural being completed at the end of this school year, like, we've been and we've had a good line of communication with getting those things done. But I think there's still a few that aren't 100% completed.
Yeah, and they're all still in the process, and at the same time, although the university has made strides to meet the demands, it's also been largely a part of still students having to make sure and follow through, that the follow through happens, which is really hard as a student to have to go to a meeting and, like, miss my class. Yeah. Because I have to go to this meeting to make sure that this happens for the future of, like, Black students, and not only Black students, just underrepresented communities on this campus, because it's basically, like, once one group gets it, it's a lot easier for other underrepresented communities to fight for the same thing. And it's really hard for students to have to put that pressure on themselves, but that's just the case of what it is.
Maybe this might be a little difficult, but do you mind sharing with us your personal experience with the events that happened and how you felt personally affected?
Do you want to go first?
I think, like, knowing that, like, someone hung a noose in the library and, like, they let them slide with, like, oh, I didn't really know what that was. The fact that, like, there are people who don't know what that symbol is made me really worried, being on this campus. And my second year, it wasn't here at UC San Diego, but it was at UC Davis. I was at the Student of Color Conference, and someone had... it was like Veterans Day weekend, and so there were ribbons. And someone had took one of the ribbons and wrote on it, "Use me as a noose." And that's like, you know, like there's a bunch of these students of color on this campus and this is happening. And so like constantly seeing this tool that was used to hang Black people, and like it's really hard, like it's really difficult to think like I go to school with these kind of people and they might do something crazy to me just because the color of my skin.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, for me it was a really interesting experience. I didn't previously like associate myself with the Black Student Union. My RA was Black, and she was actually the vice chair at the time. And she was very persistent about trying to get me to come to BSU and be involved. And she would come to my door. She was so sweet. She would come to my door, knock my door, like, oh, this is what we did today. Here's, like, the goodies we had. And I was always like, I don't want to go hang out with them. I don't even know them. And it wasn't until after that happened, and first the invitation happened, and I read it, and I was like, wow, this is so racist. Like, I can't believe this. And I was still a freshman. Like, it was so culture shock just to be in San Diego and, like, away from, like, home. And I was like, wow, that's really racist. That sucks. I didn't do anything about it. I wasn't out there protesting on the front lines. Like, it took me a while to, like, gain consciousness of everything that was going on. And then it was after, like, a couple of weeks when I realized, like, okay, this isn't going away. This is only getting worse. And so that's when I started, like, associating myself with the Black Student Union and, like, actually going out there and protesting. And then it was one night, I clearly remember it, clear as day, walking to my room. I had SDCC, which is, like, all the way in 6th. And I would walk back to Muir College, and it was dark, and I was walking through the woods by the Student Health Services Center, and someone was like, F you, N-word, and I was just like, what? Like, me? And, like, I just took off running, like, because I was literally scared for my life. I got to my room, I went straight to my RA, and I was just in tears. After that, like, it was just done. Like, I was out there, like, at that point, it was my struggle, too. I was like, okay, even if I don't see myself as only a Black woman, like, apparently that's what other people see me as. So, so then I was just out there protesting, and then it wasn't until the noose was hung, and I remember seeing the picture, and it was one of our friends, Grant White, who, like, was the first one to find it in the library, and he, like, sent the picture as a text first before it, like, went on Facebook and everything, and I got the picture of the text, and I just, like, felt like I was being, like, the noose was around my neck. Like, I felt like I was being strangled. I couldn't breathe. Like, I literally went into a panic attack because I couldn't take it on this campus. Like, and I called my dad, and I was like, you have to come get me. You have to come get me now. I'm done. I'm transferring. I'm done. I can't go here anymore. And so my dad was, like, in the car ready to come get me. And then that's when my RA came, and she's really, like, a sister to me now because we've gotten so close. And she's like, don't leave. Like, just stay strong. Stay here. We're here for you. Like, don't leave. And so I didn't end up leaving, and I was out there every day with them, like, protesting, and it was really hard. Like, I remember crying every day. I don't even remember going to class. I had to take incompletes in my classes, because how are you supposed to go to class and sit in class and learn about something while I'm not even, like, welcomed on this campus?
Right.
While people are out here, like, literally not even talking about just me, but talking about my entire, like, race, an entire group of people, and telling them they're not welcome here at UCSD. And your administration, like, the people who are supposed to be here and create a campus environment for you, are doing absolutely nothing about it. Like, and really just waiting to sweep it under the rug. And honestly, if they were able to sweep it under the rug, I think they would have.
And I think that's what they're, like, even though we have these things, like, the Black Resource Center and the Chicano Legacy Mural, like, I don't feel like the university talks about it a lot. Like, I was in a class where the professor, like, spoke about it. It was a jazz class, and this professor spoke about it, and a lot of people in my class didn't know about it. And this is, like, 2 years ago. So this is 2 years after Compton Cookout happened. You know, people didn't know about it, and I feel like it's not something that the university tells our students about, and so they come in not knowing if they don't do their own research.
Right.
Yeah, and they really do try to hide it, like, but at that point in time, like, because there were so many people and it got so much national attention, like, it even got international attention, like, it was, like, in an Italian newspaper, like, about the racism here. It was on the Yahoo News, like, the top hits, and there was no way to hide at that point, so they basically got forced into doing something. And, like, I just remember the moment when, like, Chancellor Fox, like, came up on the mic and was like, oh, we accept your demands. And even though it was for publicity, and at that point, like, I honestly just remember feeling so relieved. Like, I was crying and hugging people, and I just knew there would be better days at that point, because at least now, even though they were forced for whatever reason, like, now it felt like change can actually be made.
Right. I think we can definitely all sympathize and empathize with your experience here at UCSD and your struggle after the event. Thank you so much for having the courage to share your stories with us. And thank you again. My name is Mireya. Thank you for listening.